Hey, what's up you guys? It's Caboose bringing you another Spider-Man PS4 video, and today what we're going to be talking about is a bunch of information that has come out for a recent Game Informer article here talking about the gadgets, suits, and side quests of Spider-Man PS4. Now, before we jump into this, I wanted to ask you guys, of course, if you could leave a like rating on the video as it shows your support, and I would really appreciate it. So if you could leave a like, that would be awesome. And with that said, well, let's just jump right into this. Now, as you know, this month we are having a month-long worth of coverage from Game Informer on Spider-Man PS4, and today we got a little bit of insight about the gadgets in the game, a little more information on some of the side quests in the game, and then some information about alternate suits in Spider-Man PS4. Now let's jump into this. The first gadget that we got a look of is a gadget that we have seen since the E3 demo all the way last year, and this is the Tripwire. Now the Tripwire, from what we can tell, can pretty much be placed on anything. Walls, roofs, whatever. And then of course you can also attach the tripwire to other enemies, and the way it works is when somebody walks in front of the tripwire, they will be web zipped towards it and stuck to it. And obviously if you attach that tripwire to an enemy, when another enemy walks in front of it, they both get web zipped together and stuck to the ground. So that seems to be probably the most efficient use of the tripwire when you're walking around or battling some enemies. It's mentioned here in this Game Informer article that the Tripwire also has a specific usage that is outside of player control. It says here, if you're fighting someone on a roof and you knock them off, you will see the Tripwire activate to attach the plummeting bad guy to a wall. And I guess this is supposed to serve towards Spider-Man's personality and his character. You know, he doesn't kill people. Although, from what I remember, back in the E3 demo, when Spidey knocked someone off a roof, he just webbed them up himself and brought them back onto the roof so that they wouldn't plummet to their death. But I guess this is just another animation in the case that Spider-Man doesn't actually do that himself. You'll see the tripwire just automatically activate and then do that for you. So that's pretty cool. Obviously, again, playing towards Spidey's character. He's not a killer. He's not someone who's going to send a bad guy plummeting to his death off of a rooftop. So a nice little touch there from Insomniac. Next up is a gadget that we actually haven't seen before, and that is the web bomb. And this sounds exactly as you'd expect it to look. Spidey will shoot out a web at a crowd of people, or even if it's just one person, whatever you want to do. And when it explodes, it will shoot out a bunch of webs and web up any of the people that are in its vicinity. Now, what this works as is essentially a crowd control option. So the best use of the web bomb would be if you're fighting a large group of enemies and they're all kind of overwhelming you a little bit. You shoot out that web bomb, they're all webbed up, and that gives you some time to breathe and some time to take out one or two of them. Brian Intihar mentions here that the more you upgrade the web bomb, the longer the enemies that you hit with it will stay stuck to those webs. And then last up on the gadget that we have here is the Spider Drone. Now, we actually got to see the Spider Drone. It's one of the pre-order bonuses for Spider-Man PS4, and, well, it's explained here. Spoiler alert, it's a drone. Spider-Man throws it up in the air, and it can float above enemies, firing out webs like a machine gun, and it can web up enemies and be used as a distraction. That is so freaking awesome. I can't wait to use this in-game. You know, just being in the middle of a battle and throwing up the web drone and just attacking one guy while the web drone just attacks another. That is so cool. I can't wait to see this in action. And like I said, this is going to be one of the many pre-order bonuses for the game. Now, whether or not it's going to be unlockable outside of that is yet to be seen. However, considering that the pre-order bonus alternate suits are going to be unlockable, I'd assume that the gadgets will be as well. And for those who may not know, it is confirmed that the alternate suits in Spider-Man PS4 are going to be unlockable suits. And these are things that you don't have to pre-order the game to get a hold of. It's just that if you pre-order the game, you get immediate access to them. So, speaking on those alternate suits, they talked a little bit about them and gave us some more insight, some stuff that we've already heard before, but to go a little more in depth, they talked about 4 suits that they know of in the game so far. They got the classic suit, which you start the game out with. We talked about this in a previous video. It has the familiar black spider logo, old school boots, and its power is quadruple damage. Supposedly, the specific ability with the classic suit is that you get quadruple the damage. Apparently, his fists glow, so that's going to be really cool to try out. I'm very excited to see that. And then next up, we got the Noir suit. We've seen this. No information about it, however. There's no idea about what the ability is like for this skin. It's just that we know it's in the game, and that's it. Then we got the Spider-Punk suit, which we've seen and we've seen a lot of before. And obviously we know that the specific ability for this skin is that you get to use an electric guitar as an AoE attack against opponents. And then last up, we have the Advanced suit. This is the suit that Insomniac designed for Spider-Man, the one that you've seen in all the marketing for the game with the white spider logo, which again, they mention will have significance to the story in Spider-Man PS4. It's mentioned here by Game Informer that they had counted 24 silhouettes when looking at this picture for alternate suits in Spider-Man PS4, but as they were writing that number down, Brian Intihart was quick to interrupt in saying that that's not the right count, but there are a lot of them. So I'm guessing what that means is that there aren't 24 suits, but in fact, more than 24, which, oh man, I am happy to hear about that. Super excited in these coming months to get some of those alternate suits revealed. And again, I'm very happy to hear that it's not going to be locked behind some sort of paywall, but that you will be able to unlock these suits. And they mention here in this article that the suits will be inspired by the comics, the movies, and some have been made exclusively for the game. So it looks like Insomniac's only initial design wasn't just the original suit that we see for Spidey in this game, but that maybe we're going to be getting some more original designs from Insomniac as other alternate suits in Spider-Man PS4. Who knows, maybe we get their take on the black suit or something cool like that. Fingers crossed. The confirmation that we are going to be getting some movie suits has me very happy. You know, like I've been saying, I am banking on the fact that we either get the Iron Spider suit from Avengers Infinity War or we get that Homecoming suit. Like I've said before, the eyes that Spidey has in this game are directly taking inspiration off of the way his eyes work in the MCU, so it would be a crime not to feature any of the MCU Spidey suits that we've seen, either being the Iron Spider or the Homecoming suit. And of course, I would also love to see the Sam Raimi suits in this game, as they are iconic, and whether it's the black suit version from Spider-Man 3 or the original red and blue from Spider-Man 1 and 2, I'd be very, very happy to see them. Hell, even the suits from the Amazing Spider-Man movies are freaking incredible, and I would love to see them in this game as well. Fingers crossed we get all of these suits, though, because they all look fantastic, and well, considering that our ceiling isn't at 24, the possibilities are almost endless. Now, moving on, the last topic here that's in this Game Informer article is about side quests and some of the things that Spidey gets to do around this city outside of the main story missions in this game, and they jump in and they kind of give us a breakdown here. One thing that is going to be apparent all the time is general crime. As you're web swinging around the city, there's going to be all sorts of crime that you're going to be able to stop. There's going to be store robberies, car chases, drug deals in alleyways that obviously is going to involve combat challenges essentially, which Spidey gets to fight a group of thugs and all sorts of fun stuff like that. Now, one thing that's specifically mentioned about this though is that this doesn't involve a hero or menace system. Thank God. This is all totally optional stuff. Obviously, when I'm swinging around the city, I want to be a good Samaritan, and I'm going to try and stop as many of these as I can. But if at any point it starts to get a little repetitive for me, then I can just stop doing them and enjoy my time around the city swinging without any interruptions. Up next, we got Black Cat Stakeouts. Now, what these are is essentially Black Cat, Felicia Hardy, hiding these lucky cats in the environment and having Spidey go on a bit of a scavenger hunt to find them. The more and more you find these, the more you will unravel Black Cat's story and I guess her involvement in this game. Who knows what that's going to culminate to, but I'm assuming that some of the stuff that we see here will directly relate and lead up to Black Cat's DLC, which is going to be a part of the City Never Sleeps initiative. And then next up, we got the Taskmaster side missions, which I have talked about before. Taskmaster's in the game, and he is challenging Spidey, and he's hiding bombs around the city. Spidey's got to stop them and web them up and avoid any catastrophic damage. Who knows what other challenges he has for you, but I'm hoping what this does culminate to is a one-on-one battle against Taskmaster, because, oh man, that would be cool. Then we got the Oscorp research stations. Now, this involves Harry Osborn, who is in the game but is currently not in New York City, but actually in Europe. Now, before he leaves to Europe, he asks Peter Parker, who he doesn't know is Spider-Man, to help him out in checking on a series of mobile research stations, which are all around New York City. It's mentioned in here in this Game Informer article that the one that was investigated by them was looking into the pollution in the city, and in order to complete it, they had to swing through a series of pollution clouds in a certain amount of time. And I'm guessing this is going to act as the time trials in Spider-Man PS4, but it's sort of blanketed with a bit of a story purpose. You know, it's talking about the relationship between Harry and Peter. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited to see how this is going to work out. But yeah, it looks like this is going to be the time trials of Spider-Man PS4, but it's going to be sort of covered up with this whole little relationship between Peter and Harry, and Peter trying to help Harry with his research while he is in Europe. Then we got Fisk Bases, which is going to be acting as the combat challenges of this game. You know, Kingpin is locked up, but he has all his men still out in the city doing his dirty work, and you're going to have to go out there and fight some of them and take some of them down. And then last up here in this Game Informer article, we got Peter's old backpacks, which are going to be littered around the city. And in finding these backpacks, you're going to get a little more backstory on Peter and Spidey and what's been going on in his life leading up to the events of this game. It's said here when you find these backpacks, you're going to get these little audio cues or these little audio messages, which is going to be what gives you that backstory. And that's all the new information that we got here from this article coming from Game Informer about the gadgets in the game, the side missions, and of course what some of the alternate suits do in Spider-Man PS4, as well as an idea on how many alternate suits we're going to have in this game. Oh man, there's just so much to unpack, and every single day we get closer to the release of this game, and we still got a long month of coverage to go from Game Informer, so I'm looking forward to seeing what these next couple of days have to come from Game Informer. And of course, you can keep it locked to this channel, as I will be continuously updating you on any new information about this game and news and all that stuff. So keep it locked to this channel for all your Spider-Man PS4 news. And with that said, I kick it to you guys. Let me know your thoughts on all this in the comment section below. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I'm Caboose, and once again, if you could leave a like rating on the video, it shows your support, and I would really appreciate it. And you can click on screen to make your way to one of the other videos on the channel, or you can click my logo to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and like me on Facebook. Those links are in the description. Drop a like if you enjoyed, leave a comment if you have an opinion, and subscribe if you're new. See you guys later.